I moved here.
Hey, Jazz. Hey, Kamoy. Hey, Jazz. Hey, Kamoy. I hope you got the request. Yeah, it says I'm waiting for you to join.
I am connecting.
Hi. How
Oh, you
are
look
you?
so beautiful.
Thank you.
I'm like, I can't go live and now my first time and not have my face and my makeup done. I'm like, okay, I literally just did it in like the last 5 minutes, okay?
You look beautiful as usual.
Thank you.
Your skin is always popping.
Thank you. You were so sweet. Like, first of all, let me just say, I almost messed this up tonight, and I feel like I still owe you like another apology. And which kind of leads into some of the stuff that we're going to be talking about tonight, right? So first of all, let me give my apology, because I have been literally in my own world, right? And we talked about this in leadership class and why we come together and why we do what we do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I have been doing this by myself for such a long time, and I've literally been in my own world. And you know, my one of my strong points that I'm working on is my Instagram game, and I wasn't able to get it in 2 days, so I didn't know like you had all these beautiful things that you uploaded. I didn't really see that until just now, you know. And it's when I called you like a little while ago, like I'm not sure if I can make it, you know. Spirit was like, first of all, this is what leaders do. You're going to have to adjust your schedule. Even if you got to be up late, you're just going to have to get it done. This is what we do. And you know that she put work into this. I didn't even go on Instagram yet. And I'm like, I already know that she probably already did some promoting. That's when I asked you. So my apologies. And I don't ever want you to feel like, because I'm humbled that you would even take the time to do anything like this, honestly, you know? So I don't ever want anyone that works with me to feel like I'm flawless, because I'm not. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not flawless. I'm a work in progress, just like everybody else. And today I had a selfish, narcissistic woman like, okay, I got a lot of shit on my schedule. Let me just call and see if I can reschedule.
Right.
No, it's not. That's not what you do when you make a commitment to people. So I apologize for even having to make that phone call.
Apology accepted, and no worries. I'm grateful that you even agreed to do this live with me. I mean, it's so funny because we've had several conversations behind the scenes, and they're usually like the dopest conversations. And it's like, I'm just so happy that this time it's going to be recorded.
Yeah.
So yes, welcome. So for those who don't know, I am Naila Oni of Naila Oni Speaks, and with us today, I can't hear you. Your sound went out. No, I can't hear you. Mm-mm. No. Whatever you did, whatever. Okay, let me invite her back. Oh God, how do I? All right, let me see how I do it.
Okay. Here we go. Okay.
Okay.
There we go.
Welcome
okay.
back.
I'm so sorry about that.
That's okay. So just introduce yourself. I mean, everybody knows my
Hi, everybody. My name is Kamoy. Okay, so I have a YouTube channel where I do tarot readings and really holistic mental and emotional wellness, right? So I use the tarot card as a platform to be able to kind of understand energy. So my background is, I have a very eclectic background. So my background is pretty much, I've been studying spirituality for over 20 years. I did corporate America for over 15 years, and then I left corporate America at the age of 35 to pursue my career in music. So I actually went to get my audio engineering license, okay? And I'm giving this background because It's interesting how when you start to follow spirit, how it takes you in a path and connects everything that you do and nothing is wasted, right? So when I went to audio engineering school, I wanted to write music. I wanted to record my own shit. I didn't know that I was going to take all of that information. Hey, Kim is on here.
All our people are up
I
in here.
know they're coming through, honey. Okay. I didn't know that I was going to be able to take all that information and apply it to spirituality. I didn't know that I was going to learn simple things that, you know, sound comes before light, you know, and everything is created from sound, which means your words, you know, which means that's your force, you know. I didn't know that sound was created to the throat chakra. So within that year of going back to school to get my engineering degree, my audio engineering degree, I also went and got my NLP license, which is neuro linguistic programming. So I kind of implement all of my eclectic things along the way, 20 years of spiritual work, audio engineering. Then I went and got licensed for life coaching, you know, and then don't necessarily need the tarot. I've been what they would consider like prophesying for a long time without the cards, you know, but the cards just kind of pull people in because they can get a visual view of what I feel, you know. So the goal is emotional and mental wellness, and not to keep you stuck in anything, not a relationship, not a job, not an emotion, not an illness, you know, not a negative thought pattern. It's all about you being able to master yourself. So that's my goal, and that's what I do on my channel.
Yes. Well, thank you for being here. So our topic today is a good one. It's emotional triggers.
Yes.
And, you know, it's funny because I think it became, you know, it's so interesting to me when words or phrases become trends from people, you know, and I'm just like, okay. But, you know, people always say trigger warning, or I feel triggered, you know, all the time. And but what does it actually really mean? I wonder if people really understand what it is and how they're processing their triggers and why they're being triggered in the first place, and then what are they doing about it?
So what I have learned, because I actually do coaching sessions privately, and what I've learned is that a lot of people know that they do things, but they're not sure why they do what they do, right? So I know if you call me a bitch, I'm finna fuck you up. You know, that's just like, it's going down. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. I know if you call me stupid, immediately I shut down and I don't want to talk anymore, right?
Right.
So they are aware that they have these triggers, but they don't know where these triggers come from, or even how to get past a lot of these emotional triggers, right? So a lot of people don't know that you can be in a relationship with someone and they hurt your feelings, but really what they're doing is hurting something that happened to you at a childhood. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then, so you keep pointing the finger at the loved one, at the lover, at the husband, at the wife, you know, at the child. You keep pointing the finger at everybody, but what you're not realizing is that this is like a trauma from your childhood. So you have all of these karmic patterns, or I think Kelly would say people trauma bond, you know, so you bond in relationships because of trauma. Oh, your mother used to beat your ass. My mother beat my ass too. So, okay, so now we can beat each other's ass. And that's how we relate to love. Understand what I'm saying? But you're not, in your mind, you're not having the conversation, my mother beat my ass. You're saying how you were hurt as a child, how you were traumatized, right? But you're not intellectually understanding that's what's bonding you guys. So when the toxic discommunication or the dysfunction communication kicks in, you go right back to being your parents, or you go right back to being that 12-year-old or that 7-year-old. You understand what I'm saying? In every adult relationship.
Yeah.
So this is happening like in every adult relationship that you're interacting with. So that's what I'm trying to get people to understand and wake up to. A lot of what you're responding to is not things right now. You're responding things to you that happened eons ago in your childhood, right? So I like to tell people that whoever controls you emotionally controls you.
Controls you.
That's it. You are an emotional puppet, whether it is the government, whether it is the school system, whether it is the banking system, whether it's your mama, your papa, it don't
The
matter.
television, the
Honey,
television.
hello, you know. So whoever's controlling you emotionally, right? And it's not you. And well, let me not even say if it's not you. It's worse if it's you, but you don't know what your triggers are. That's even worse, because then you get in your way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get in your way, right? So we talked about that because I told you about my experience that I had yesterday with a friend. I'm trying to make sure that I get set up here because my
Right.
is starting to
And
hurt.
it's so funny because I was listening to a podcast a couple of nights ago, and this guy was on there asking for advice, talking about his child's mother, and was calling her the B word. So the host was just like,
Yeah.
Is she your child's mother? He was like, yes. He was like, once she became your child's mother, like she's no longer a B. And his response was, well, this is who I am. I don't have to change who I am for no B. And I was just like, now see, that's trauma bond. That's trauma.
That's a trauma bond.
And you were triggered.
I'm sorry. I'm live.
You were triggered, and then you respond. And I think people have this idea that their bad behavior is acceptable and everyone should accept it just because they choose not to change or choose to deal with the real root of the issues.
Yes. Yeah. I can respond like this because when I was growing up, I was hurt, and that gives me the reason for me to behave badly and
deal with it.
Yeah. You know, that's who I am, you know. Well, that's just how I react to things, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
One of my defense mechanisms, because I also think when you're dealing with people and you're helping people to get past trauma, right? You got to be honest with people about where you have grown, right? So I say all the time, like, I'm not nobody's guru. You know what I'm saying? I'm just really sharing the things that I've learned along my walk, and then you can use the information or not. Like, it's your choice. We all have choices, right? Everybody has choices, whether or not you choose to do, you know, and we talk about that a lot, but it's your choice whether or not you're going to hold on to past trauma and past pain and allow that to control your now moment. You know what I'm saying? Your now moment. You get rooted in so much, I call them different belief system, you know, all of these dogmas. Well, if you're not perfect like this, and if you don't look like this, then you're not this. So you grow up still reinforcing shit that you learned in childhood and applying it to your adult life, because you're constantly in the loop of reinforcing things that don't work for you anymore, you know?
Yeah, and the thing that's so interesting to me is that, you know, usually these types of people that don't deal with their traumas or their issues, they're unhappy in every aspect of their life. And it's just like, when do you make the decision to, obviously the energy around you is stagnant. So when do you make the decision to do something different and perhaps stop running from the traumas, because you're just going to keep encountering the traumas just in a different way, because that's God's way, or the universe's way, spirit's way of wanting you to finally confront it.
Exactly. So this is how I break it down to myself, right? So one of the things that I know I've had to deal with, and it's a continuous work in process too, because you learn along this spiritual journey, there's levels, right? So you can master a level here, right? And then be strong at level 2 and 3. And then you get to 4, and you're like, shit, why I feel like I'm going back to level 1? Didn't I heal this shit? I just cried over this shit like 2 years ago.
This is the story of my life. Every month I think, oh shoot, I got over it. I thought I passed that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought I healed from this, right? So now what I know is it shows up in different ways. This is why you constantly got to do your check-in with yourself, right? I tell people all the time, whenever somebody else's opinion of you become more important of your opinion than you have of yourself, you got a fucking problem. You have a problem, okay? You got a problem because now you're living your life based on someone else's perception of you. Now, that's not a full view perception, right? Because they haven't walked your life.
Right.
They don't know what your insecurities, what your fears, what your wants, what your needs, what your loves are, you know,
your traumas.
Yeah. You know, their perception of you is based on not a limitation within you, but a limitation within them.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So why not be your own guru? Why not be your own judge? Why not be your own jury instead of trying to judge other people? So if everybody else can, the world is not going to change by us changing anybody. The world is going to change by Kamoy changing, by Not changing, by Kim changing, by Pam changing, by James changing. The world is not going to change until you decide to address the trauma, right?
That's right.
So for me, it was self-worth.
Yeah.
For me, it was self-worth, right? Which means that I kept them dating dumb motherfuckers. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm doing too much cursing. So, I'm sorry, y'all. Any church people.
Girl, be yourself.
Okay.
Keep going.
Okay.
Be yourself.
Okay. Because I be trying to watch my, but I do
click
know.
Off. If it's too much, they can click off.
But I'm going to tell you something that I've learned too. I've learned also when there's different energies that come through, and there's a very wise energy that comes through, but this particular energy likes to curse a lot. So I just kind of let it rock, right? Self-worth was my problem, and what I found was I entertained relationships on all levels that confirmed the lower vibrational conversations I was having with myself. You're not worthy. Nobody really wants to hear your music or your words or your poetry. Girl, ain't nobody gonna click on your video. You know, like, girl, ain't nobody gonna tarot cards. Who? Girl, please, okay. Along with an incident that happened at 12 years old that dictated how I view men and how I view relationships and my self-worth, you know? So walking around telling myself from 12 years old, you know, from an experience with my dad, well, if my own father don't love me, well, what man is going to love me? You understand what I'm saying? So now at 12, right, I planted that, you know, from that particular incident that happened. I planted that in my head at 12. So 13, 14, now I'm 24. And I'm dating a man that can't love me the way I need to be loved because of what I told myself at 12. My own daddy don't, you know, like, you understand what I'm saying? Until at maybe, you know, maybe when I came to my Saturn return is when I started to really work on a lot of this stuff. The end of my 20s, beginning of my 30s, right? Where I had a choice because Saturn return presents you with a choice. Who are you going to be? Your past trauma. So I literally started to work on loving me. And the minute I started to love me and I wholeheartedly loved me, the relationships that I was in that was not supporting my love dissolved. Like I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to do anything. Like they literally just fell apart, you know? I made a choice to choose myself and they had to fall apart because it was no longer self-sufficient. So I had to go back and correct my thinking. I wasn't worthy of love. I had to go back to that incident at 12 years old. And I had to go back. And I also had to realize too, and then this is another thing, forgiveness is key. I had to also realize that when my dad had me, he was young. My mother was, you know, 19. I don't even think she was 20 yet. You understand what I'm saying? So we're talking about me now being 35, still working through my shit at 35. Imagine a 19-year-old and a 20-year-old that don't even know nothing about no chakra system, no spirituality. Like, so how are you keeping somebody hostage when they were traumatized themselves and they had not even had the awareness of this information like you do now to heal yourself? You know what I'm saying? So I had to forgive. I had to forgive my dad, which gave me an opportunity for the past 3 years to spend some time with him and correct things that I didn't even know was there, things I didn't even know was there, you know? So when you open yourself up to heal, you open yourself up for the universe to bring it in the ways that it needs to be healed, you know? And sometimes it's not easy, it's painful.
Very, very painful. And I think that's something that you and I share is I dealt with a lot of self-worth issues because as a child, I too heard something or overheard a conversation between my parents, and my father wasn't very happy with the fact that I was fat. So from that moment, I felt like I wasn't worthy enough of even the love from my own father.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Or
Look
at
at
least
that.
at least that's the story that I
So if
told
he doesn't
myself.
see me as beautiful, then what other
Exactly.
man with, yes. Yeah.
Exactly. Right. So, I mean, I think that's why forgiveness and healing is so important, because if you don't undo all of that, you are literally stuck in the paradigm of a false illusion that you've
Girl,
created for yourself.
girl,
You know what I mean?
I'm
So
telling you,
you're
yes.
seeing things from a skewed perception based
Yes.
off of limiting beliefs and
Belief
based off
system.
of what someone else thought of you. So usually
Yes.
what ends up happening is that you grow up and you're trying to please other people,
Yes.
because just to feel acceptance,
Yeah.
and it's a mask. It's not who
Yeah.
you really are.
Oh,
You know
yes.
what I
Yes.
mean? So it took me going through a spiritual awakening for all of those false illusions of who I thought I was, and to really understand the truth of who I am and what everything around me is all about. And you know, from that I realized, you know, and I say this often because it's my truth, this is my experience. Everyone are just players in in this version of my reality.
Listen.
So you can't ever tell me what's what. I'm gonna stand in who I am and what I know and who I choose
Yes.
to be, and grow
Yes.
at that pace. And I really don't care about what other people think.
People think you do have
Yeah,
to adapt
right,
that.
right.
You
So
have to
I've
adapt
learned
that.
self-love. I've learned
Yes. Yes.
how to I always say, like, I'm an alchemist. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
I learned alchemy.
And a lot of people don't understand what alchemy is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's going to be another show for another time, because we could give them
Yeah.
some tips on that. However, when you master self alchemy, there's nothing that you can't do. I'm telling you, like, I'm looking at the reality around me right now, and it is, honey, um, yeah. However, this is what I can say. The reality in my mind's eye is already complete. And every
Yeah.
day, when you live in that reality in your mind's eye, I literally see the universe taking care of things for me. I make a phone call, it just works out. I show up,
Yes.
it just works out. You understand?
Yes.
And even in the times when it don't work out and I get a little frustrated, what I do find myself doing now is, I'm okay, universe, you know I'm human. You know that shit. Okay, you know I'm human. Okay, all right. So allow me the few minutes to feel the way I feel. Okay,
Right. Right. Right.
and then, right after I say that, it's like, but I know you got my back. So
Yeah.
delay don't mean denial. You know what I'm saying? Then I get up in my
Yeah.
mantra. You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I get in my mantra. I put on my Lakshmi meditation, and then I vibe it out, and then I just move past that feeling.
Right.
Right
Right.
now, once I have done that, if that shit comes back again, now we need to have a conversation, because I'm not fitting to entertain that. I already
Right.
had the feeling. I worked it out. I know where it's coming from. Now I'm not going to entertain you repeating anything negative. Now,
Right.
when that comes back, which is the alchemy part, now I'm telling my mind with think, oh no, that's taken care of. I don't even have to worry about that shit no more. That's done.
Right.
And that's how you work it. Anything and you see in this dimension and in this realm first comes from you either speaking it, thinking it, feeling it. That's manifestation.
That's right.
It comes from there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether you're thinking it and feeling it and speaking it from someone else's perception, it doesn't matter. You're still thinking, feeling, and speaking. You understand what I'm saying? The universe is like a cat. You younger than me. I don't know if you remember back in the day,
Just
they
by
had,
this much.
you remember they had the JC Penney's catalogs back in the days, right?
Yes.
And you can call up JC Penney's, right? So think of the universe as a catalog, right?
Yeah.
Where anything infinitely is possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anything, and you can pick the color, you can size, shape, anything, right? The one thing you cannot do is choose the delivery method. That's
Yes.
the one thing you can't do, right?
Yes.
Because you're going to try to choose FedEx, and the universe is trying to bring it UPS because you need it by Sunday, and FedEx don't deliver on Sunday, but you're trying to tell the universe how to bring it to you. So
Right.
you just lucked up. Now you can't get your package or your delivery on the date that you want it, because you're trying to control, right, how to
Right.
bring things to you, right? And it can work like that if you want it to, right? Which is why you're attached to triggers. Which
Yeah.
is when you want to tell the universe how to deliver something, because you don't want to deal with your trauma. So now you triggered, right?
Right. Right. Right.
Now
Right.
you got it. Yeah. Why do overnight shopping when you can get it for free? Overnight shipping when you can get it for free?
And it's so crazy because, you know, and I had to learn this, but sometimes, well, oftentimes you get in your own way. Like you can't control it. Like you can put your request or your prayer out there and then you have to let it go.
No.
But our ego and our human mind wants to, I want it to look like this. I want him to come by this. I want him to call by this day. I want this to happen by this. And it doesn't work like that.
It does.
It doesn't work like that.
It doesn't. Well, let me put it this way. It will work like that if that's what you want.
Yeah, but that's just not what you want.
But then, because then you're not working with the energy, you're not working with the universe. You understand what I'm saying?
That's
then
right.
you liable to get the package delivered and your shit is all broken up because you done try to interfere because you want there's so much just. And then let me, because you just said something when you pray, right? And this is, a lot of people don't understand this about alchemy. And I even want to say about triggers too, because this is important too, right? Because even with triggers, right? When you pray, and remember, we're using our throat chakra here, or spelling, or spells, right? Yeah. So when you pray and you ask for something, the goal is not for you to keep asking. And I think that's where a lot of people get confused. You know what I'm saying? The goal is not to keep asking. The goal is to get in the space of gratitude. Yeah. So the minute that you ask for something, that should be it. Right? You let it go. And if it comes up again where you're feeling worried or fearful, you get into a place where you're getting into thankful mode, you know?
Right.
I don't want to veer too much from a topic. Because I feel like we're getting into alchemy, and that's my thing.
I mean, you said it was another topic. You went that way.
And then I went that way. So you will have to pull me in, girl, because you know I could go like I could take it. I could talk about anything under the sun.
Yes. So back to emotional triggers. Let's talk about the people who are emotionally triggered because of things in their past, but they're not comfortable with expressing emotion. So they avoid a situation. They ghost a situation.
Okay.
That's huge.
That is very huge. And I will say this: there's really nothing you can do about that until somebody decides that they're gonna deal with that. You understand?
Exactly. Right.
Like, so what you need to do, I think, okay, so let's talk about it from two aspects. The person that did the ghosting, okay, that was emotionally triggered and did the ghosting, and the person that was ghosted and then may have been emotionally triggered, because remember that's the trauma bonding, right?
That's the trauma
you understand
bond. That's why I brought us back there.
You know what
I brought us back here.
Okay, so now, so you are ghosting someone because you don't know how to deal with your feelings. And some of that, like, really, when you get to know yourself, some of that could be in your chart. Some of that could literally be how you, like, your signature pattern here, right? Now, if you know that is so helpful going into a relationship, because then that's something that can be expressed. Like, you may have to clue me in because, you know, and somebody, I think, Chris Rock, recently was talking about being diagnosed, I think, with some type of Asperger's or something, where he's emotionally disconnected, right? So I want to put that out there. There's sometimes it's not that a person is just triggered where they can't emotionally express themselves. Some of this is just in your DNA, in your chart, right? However, if you're emotionally triggered where you're ghosting people, what you find is that you're going to continuously attract in people that you can ghost.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not going to find any relationships that's going to challenge you past who you are now, right?
Right.
So unless that person that does the ghosting decides to not run, right? Every relationship they're going to get into, unless they decide not to run, they're going to run. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's, you know, so you still have to go back to your trigger to find out why you run. And also seeing that you may be the common denominator in why relationships may not work out. You understand what I'm saying? Now, for the person that's been ghosted, you need to figure out why you've been in 6-7 relationships with people that keep ghosting you. you know,
if that's a recurrent issue,
you know, or if it's a recurrent issue with the same person and it hurts you, right? You need to find out why you keep accepting that, right? Why you keep accepting that, because then both people are getting something from it. So either which way, people do things because they get something from it. You're being fed. right? Whether it's positive or negative, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter because it's all about balance anyway, right? So it doesn't matter. It's really up to perception. So you would need to bring that balance in. So a lot of people, if you are not aware of the why you do what you do, not just that I do it, you need to be aware of why you do what you do. You're always going to be the common denominator in any relationship that's not healthy, that's toxic, because that's what you're putting out, yeah. So both people are still attracting each other on some level.
Right. Okay, so we've talked about trauma triggers, opposing beliefs. That's another reason why people are triggered.
Yes. I
mean, and we see it now, right now, with the left versus the right, and it's getting crazy between these two groups of people, right? So they're triggered.
Also, the mask versus the unmasked. Girl,
you don't have it over your nose,
girl.
Put it on your nose.
Don't sneeze in the store, even with your mask on. Don't sneeze in no store, honey. Okay, trust.
Yeah,
right? So
you're gonna get the evil eye.
I get it.
And also, it could be also ego preservation.
Yes.
Yeah. To preserve their ego.
I know Kim did a video, and then we had a really good talk. This was this could have been in the summer, where she was really studying like narcissism, and teaching about narcissism. And she said something that was so true. She said, there is a little bit of a narcissist in all of us.
Oh, absolutely.
A little bit of a narcissist in all of us. I think. And this is even me calling myself out right now. When I first started to, before I even realized I had a gift, right? In corporate America, I gave advice. So I would have sessions in the morning and I would have sessions after work. So people just, same thing we doing now, I used to do it at work, right? So I would get so upset now when I would give advice and people wouldn't take my advice, and then they want to come back and then say, girl, I didn't do this. I'd be like, girl, I gave you some good ass advice. Like, why you didn't do what I told you to do, Right. So I had to learn that your perception of a thing and how you view the world is very important. Right. And I had to learn that I can't force my perception or view on another person. So if something comes off where I feel like I'm arguing my point or it's argumentative, then I stop. Like when I catch myself, I stop, because my path or how I view my life or how I see my life, I don't feel like I should have to debate with anybody. We either on the same vibration or we not.
Or we not, right.
So
today, yes, absolutely.
So, and then that might change from day to day, even within your own personal circle. You understand what I'm saying? I really feel if everybody allows other people to be, just to be, the world would be a lot better place.
When I moved here, I came here with that.
People could just be.
And mind their business.
Oh, honey.
Mind your business. Don't worry about why someone is doing the thing the way they do it. Because that's what they want to do.
Yes.
Leave people be.
Yes. I say I am pretty neutral to the political realm. Because I figure it doesn't matter who get in the office. It's still going to be compliance on the either which. You understand what I'm saying? So, I'm pretty neutral. I judge the energy based
on... And history teaches that.
Yes, Yeah. So if you want to tap into anything political, you really should be tapping in from an astrological or numerology point of view, because that's going to be more accurate as far as where you're going with the times versus you paying attention to what's going on in the news and, and on social media and stuff.
And putting I just want to add, and putting your emotion in it, because a lot of people have become so judgmental because people don't hold the same viewpoint that they do. Like I've seen things online, like people making faces, like this is how I look at people who don't do this, or this is how I look at Republican. You know what I mean? It's so judgmental. Like
that is so emotionally triggering for people right now. And I think, and a lot of people don't understand, that's mind control 101. Okay, like
Hello.
seriously, like there is a book called
Got you.
Mind Control 101. Like you can go look it up. All of this stuff that's being done, like it's listed out verbatim, like how this is being
Yes.
done right now.
Yes.
Okay. Now, which takes us back to whoever controls you emotionally, controls what you do, controls what you buy, control when you like
What you think,
You
and how
understand what I'm
you
saying?
perceive
You know, and then
everything, and you don't
everything.
even know it.
And then based on your emotional triggers, because you may have been discriminated against at a young age. You understand what I'm saying? And depending on where they're filtering that information, then you're triggered there, and then you go out and you're angry, and so you really gotta be mindful, right? You gotta be mindful, especially within the holiday season right now. The name of the game is Chaos Magic, aka I'm gonna trigger you emotionally, because if I can control you emotionally, yeah, I've won. Okay.
Yeah.
So be mindful. Emotional triggers are not just based on relationships, it's also based on society,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I'm just reading some of the comments. Someone says you was ahead of time for corporate America. They were not ready for your insight. I still hold true some of our insightful discussions. Oh, this is one of your people. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's
Okay.
Carlos
Thank you.
Reyes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Uh,
Carlos, sweetie. Hi, fellow Scorpio. How you doing? Let me tell you something. Carlos will tell you, because me and Carlos, that's what I'm telling you. I used to do the same thing.
Yeah.
And Carlos, we saved each other too, because we were in corporate America, and we were going through some tough times then, and people thought we were dating, and we weren't. We were just really close friends, because we spent a lot of time together. So that's my baby.
That's cool. Somebody, Jasmine said, Goddess Galaxy says, people like that only see through the scope of their own path. We were talking about people emotionally triggered.
Yes.
Grilly says people don't understand how heavy those things are. Yeah. Their own emotions. Absolutely. And purging and letting it go.
And can I just say this, and then you can, let me just say, even down to because we talk about emotional trigger, I want to throw in even sexual trigger can also be put onto that too. And I say that because you have a lot of people that went through a lot of sexual trauma that is now emotionally triggered because of that trauma, right? So we're not just talking about coming from a place where you may have been mentally or verbally abused. We're talking about also physical trauma that you may have experienced as a child. Being violated as a child can play into how you interact in your intimacy with your spouse. You understand what I'm saying? So so one of the things that I tell people all of the time, right? Learn yourself, man. Be honest with yourself. I'm real. If I feel like I'm angry, I'm angry. If I feel like I'm jealous, I'm saying I'm jealous. And then the question is, why are you jealous? Especially if it's somebody that I feel like, what the fuck am I? Like, you're like, oh no, like for real? You know what I'm saying? So then I got to go research why, right? Because that's a trigger. That's an emotional trigger, right? Now I got to go look at why. Oh, I didn't know that was there. Then you get to uncover things about yourself that you can. This is where it talks about out of darkness comes light. Out of darkness comes enlightenment. Those dark places of yourself, you gain enlightenment from those places, right? You got to go through that. How many times I don't have to laugh at myself, caught myself laughing and saying, girl, you being a hypocrite right now. How the hell you straight, and girl, you straight up a hypocrite right now.
And that's the best thing, when you can check yourself, and I mean, that's being real. My thing is, like, if you can't be real with anyone else, you should at least be able to be real with yourself and tell yourself the truth. Tell yourself the truth. And I think people should also, like, when they feel themselves becoming triggered, pause before you react. Like, pause and kind of like go through your mind, like, where is this coming from? Try to find out where the root cause is. And 9 times out of 10, it's probably not anything the person did to you. It's something that you're feeling.
Thank you. Which you remember, we talked about this yesterday when we met about, like, summing up the topic, and I told you about the experience that I had with the young lady, beautiful young lady, you know, good heart, but has some triggers. And because she was triggered, being triggered almost cost her time away from her babies for almost a year. You understand what I'm saying? Almost close. Everything is fine. It worked out like,
Oh,
you know, like,
good.
yeah, so it's fine. She
Good.
texted me today.
Good.
Everything is
Okay.
fine. So she got another opportunity to watch her triggers. And so I was explaining that to her today. When you feel that bubble, before you blow, you got to check yourself. You don't wait for
Right.
nobody else to do that. Like,
That's
people don't
right.
understand. Now, and let me just put this out here also, right? We are in, and I keep saying this, heavy chaos energy right now, which means people are going to be very emotionally triggered right now, especially if you're in close spaces with people and
Yeah.
you don't, you know, like stuff is locked down. Especially if people have insecurities emotionally about not being able to provide for their families. Like, so what you're going to see happening is a lot of domestic abuse rising
yeah.
at a time as this, because people are emotionally triggered and don't know that that's what's happening. You understand what I'm
Right.
saying?
They don't
They don't
understand the energy.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
you know.
Right.
So
And
the
go ahead.
I was just going to say the goal here is, and I think as we talk about this, is just to become aware of ourselves and help others to become aware of themselves, you know,
Yeah.
so you can take responsibility for your own life and your own actions, and you don't
Right.
leave it up to, you know, it's not about being perfect. I'm not,
Right.
not
And
about being perfect.
it's about checking yourself, as you said, and exhibiting self-control. Like, no
Yeah.
one else should be responsible for how you feel
Yes. Huh.
and how you articulate your
Oh,
feelings.
honey, do
Like,
you know how much we give that power away? And then when we
yeah,
don't get the feeling that we want, then we mad.
then you real big mad. I gave you all this power and you still didn't respond the way I wanted
You
you
know,
to?
if
What?
you understand what I'm saying, I'm gonna date you. Okay, well, I'm gonna send this text message and I'm gonna say this. Okay, you better
Yeah.
respond like this. Okay,
Yeah.
well, oh, you didn't respond. Now I'm mad because you didn't respond the way I.
How
Come on
crazy is
now,
that
like,
though? How crazy is that? That's like psychotic.
I was telling you, and then, okay, I'm sorry. And then you want to know why you keep getting the same experiences, because you keep doing the same insane stuff. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, learn your triggers,
Right.
right? And heal your triggers, and then you can have healthy relationships, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And especially a healthy relationship with yourself.
Come on now.
Yeah.
You have a lot of people, and then this is what happens, right? Now, you got a lot of people, like, say for example, I had a client one time. This is someone in their 40s plus. I'm talking about I'm 44, so this person is older than me. This gentleman is older than me. Okay. So I'm 44. This gentleman is older than me. And in one of the sessions, you know, he mentioned that he's never been in love.
Oh, wow.
But been married for 10 plus years.
Oh, I know someone like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Has a full-time mistress on the side.
Yeah.
But you've never been in love. So you walking around messing up other people's life because of your dysfunction.
Yeah.
You know, and then they're walking around with their dysfunction, accepting the fact that, allowing you to mess their life up. Do you see how this cycle just keeps going?
It's
You know,
vicious and ugly.
and all because you don't love yourself, you don't know what love is, so you're still seeking that outside of yourself. And then when we digged, he found exactly where it was from. Childhood stuff. He found it. He
Good.
found good, but have you done the work?
That was going to be my next
See,
question.
hell no. Okay, well, what I'm saying is this, right? Not everybody that says they want to heal really wants to heal.
They don't.
I've learned that. So on that note, I have to say, not everybody's supposed to learn on this lifetime. This is not everybody's graduation, you know.
It's not.
It's, you know, and for some people, the lesson is not learning.
Yes.
Did you ever think, like, some people, the lesson is this is what it feels like to be emotionally triggered.
And you know what? That's something that I had to resolve within myself, because, you know, once I started seeing the light, I was just like, you need to see the light. You know what I mean? Kind of like, no, you need to get out of this sunken place. But
no,
they just be looking at me like, what?
Not everybody.
And then I had to be like, oh, I can't force other people to grow. Like, that's not my job. Like,
you can't.
Who do I think I am?
No, yeah. And at this point, if they don't want to do it, if they don't get why it is important, then this is not their go around. And that's okay.
And it's okay.
That is okay. Like, it is okay. All of
Love
that.
them anyway.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, 15, 20 years ago, I was there, so I get it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so it's okay. This is not everybody's season. Somebody said take control. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You do have to take control. It's not everybody's season, so don't force your stuff off on everybody else. Like I said, the world don't change by you changing others. It changed by you first changing yourself.
I don't do it anymore, but I think in my excitement of realizing certain things, I was like, oh, I need to help the people that I love. You can't.
No. If this is what I've learned. If they come and they ask the question, we can get into it. You know what I'm saying?
That's when they're seeking.
Yeah. But if you come in and you want to debate, I'm not fitting to debate with you.
Oh, no,
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Yeah.
It is public, Carlos. I'm gonna save it. So it'll be public.
Yep. Somebody said you can lead the horse to water, but you can't make them drink. Oh, yes, that is the truth. I don't know who said that, but that is the truth. I can't
That's
see
Carlos.
Oh, that's Carlos. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. That is the truth. Let me just say this, right? One of the best ways that you heal emotional triggers, I want to say the only way really for you to get into healing emotional triggers is self-love.
Self-love.
That's it. Self-love, self-acceptance. You understand? Like, just accept it all, love flaws in all.
Yes.
One of the things I like to coin is in my imperfections that I'm most perfect. It is within my imperfections that I'm most perfect. Ain't nobody like you. Ain't nobody like me.
And you can't be like me.
Why would I spend time trying to be Beyonce when I'm not Beyonce? You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Like,
and
I'm
how
boring.
How boring would that be to be a cookie cutter version of someone else?
Come on. Like, like,
thank you.
I tell people, like, I don't have an ass, right? I got a nice type, but it's not like a badunka dunka. I guess I'm in Atlanta, they buy them down here. I could, I guess I can, right? But I have very nice chest. So that's my thing. I embrace that. I buy clothing that accentuate that. So I'm gonna buy something that accentuate that and something flowy. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I work within the realm that I am and embrace myself. I don't have to. Now, don't get me wrong. If you want to have work done, and it's on you, but if you're doing that to look like someone, to feel like someone, to experience someone else's life, you're always going to be seeking outside of yourself to be accepted. And that's not self-love, but if you're doing it because it's a difference,
It's a difference, right?
It's a difference, yeah.
And if you don't embrace self-love and self-acceptance, then no one that comes into your version of reality will accept or love you
Exactly. I think one of the things that I actually love and big myself up for is I like to be able to be me.
Yeah.
Right. Which then extends the freedom to other people to be themselves.
Yes.
So that's where my 100% rule comes in. Like, you can come in at 100%. Right? Come in at 100%. Then I'm gonna start docking you, because I'm pretty loyal. I've had to learn that my access had to be limited, I've had to learn that. And this is not even about being on YouTube. This is even from people that you say you love. You understand what I'm saying? So sometimes you gotta block people. Maybe not physically on the phone, but when you see them call and your spirit say don't answer that phone, don't answer that phone, and that's another thing too, because you're triggered, right? You gotta help everybody. You answer that phone. Know yourself. Know that's a trigger. Oh shit, I'm trying to be Mother Teresa right now. No, not today.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, exactly. And put it in pause, so you gotta love yourself. I've learned that. Love and embrace yourself for who you are. Yep. You gotta love that. Protect somebody. Yep. Love, protect your peace.
Yes, you do.
Somebody
you can't please everyone.
You can't. You can't.
Now you can't help everybody.
You can't. One of the things that Spirit has been telling me, MSX in New York, is right now, where as far as peace is concerned, we've been collecting peace and getting peace now for eons and years. Right now, it's time for you to get your wholeness.
I don't want nobody.
Okay,
Pieces.
I don't want no
No.
peace no more. I want my wholeness.
Whole.
This is where the boundaries come in. Yeah,
that's right.
So yeah, protect your wholeness.
That's
MSX.
right.
That's what you're protecting. Your wholeness, your whole mind, your whole heart. Okay, your whole body. You're protecting you right now. Yeah, you've had enough peace, right? That's what they teach us all the time. Find your peace. Get your peace. No,
yeah.
I want all of me.
All of it. Right. right.
I want it all. You know.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. No more pieces.
And,
Get the whole.
It has to be that way because it's not my responsibility to make sure that you're good.
Yeah.
You know, like
yeah. Mm-hmm.
that would be too much on anybody. No, you need to be not codependent, but interdependent is good. But being codependent is not okay.
One of the things that's been coming out in the daily vibrations for the past 2 days is self-sufficiency, self-reliance, right? Inner strength, right? Sometimes when you're dealing with emotional things, you gotta be able to do things even when you're afraid. You gotta push past it even when you're afraid. You gotta push past it even when it hurts. You know what I'm saying? You gotta let me tell you something. I remember years ago, my husband handed me divorce papers. Oh my gosh. I ain't never signed them though, but anyway. And I remember walking back and forth, talking to my best friend of over 20 years, walking back and forth to the train station for 6 months, walking back and forth to the studio, telling her the same thing for 6 months. Well, if he feels like, you know, I don't make him happy and he can find someone else that makes him happy, then that's what I want. I can't hate him for that. And now, see, because what you don't know is you can talk yourself into feeling a way, even if you don't fucking feel that way. Because I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I did not feel that way. Okay, I wanted him to hurt. I wish he could stomp his toe on a big ass rock. Okay, I did not. I wanted him to feel the way I was feeling. So I'm not gonna sit up here
broken.
Okay, I'm not gonna sit up here and say I wasn't broken and I wasn't hurting. What I am sitting up here and saying is because I wanted my emotional health and my emotional wellness, I was not going to allow his behavior and his treatment of me to stop me from loving. So I had to wish him well. I literally had to talk that shit into existence. Okay, so I don't walk around hating him.
That's right. Because it's only gonna hurt you.
It is. You know. Now today we friends. I could call and ask for whatever I want. You understand what I'm saying? Like you know, we are friends. So yeah. Heal yourself even when people hurt you, right? Then that way you can see that, listen, ain't nothing you got to take personally when it comes to love, right? Everything is an indication of either something you need to embrace about yourself, right? Love or accept about yourself, or change about yourself. And usually the things that we need to change about ourselves are the most uncomfortable things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And healing and forgiveness is for your freedom. That's the key to your freedom. So it's just like you're not hurting anyone by holding the grudge except yourself. You're hurting yourself.
Yes, honey.
The other person don't even give a care about what you got going on.
Hence the 6 months, because he was not going to snap because I was angry at you.
Right.
You know, I wasn't going, no. I wish you love, you know. At the time I used to say I wish you peace, you know.
Yeah.
Now I say I wish you wholeness, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I every day I gotta work on my emotions. Every day I gotta work on myself. Every day I gotta work on not being a better me, but being me. You understand what I'm saying?
Being you,
being me, like, you understand what I'm saying? Shit, people trying to be a better version of themselves and you don't even know who the fuck you are. Like, work on being you first, you know, and then you know, you'll find that there's no need to be a better version of you if you're really being you. You know, because the true essence of you is beautiful and flawless, you know, and within your imperfections you are perfect, honey. Okay.
Right. So
this was fun.
Work on your emotional triggers. Work on your emotional and work on you and self-love. I think that's the bottom line. Self-love. Love yourself. And if you don't know how, you've got 2 coaches here on this line. Reach out.
Yeah. You don't get anywhere without doing the work.
That's
You
right.
know,
Exactly. You
and
and you have to start somewhere. You know, you just have to start. You just have
yeah.
to start. So tell the people where they can find you.
Okay, so you can find me on YouTube at the number 4 Your Inner Voice, or on Instagram at the number 4 Your Inner Voice. So I just launched the Instagram because I was on the other platform, my other Instagram page. So join me at Instagram, the number 4 Your Inner Voice. Also, I started uploading my podcast again because I took a little break. So you can find the
Yeah.
Daily Vibrations on my podcast too. So I'm on
Okay.
Apple, Spotify, like all of those major platforms. The number 4, Your Inner Voice, right? Spiritual Chef. You can find me there also. Am I
Yes.
forgetting any other platform? Facebook.
Patreon.
Yeah,
Patreon.
Oh yes, yeah, I forgot. Okay, thank you, girl.
You're welcome.
Patreon, the same thing. Okay, for Your Inner Voice. Okay, Facebook, the same thing. You're gonna find content on Patreon that you do not find anywhere else. Okay, you're going to find monthly extensions on Patreon that you're not going to get on YouTube. And I don't put the monthlies on Instagram. Okay, so you're gonna have to go to YouTube for the monthlies. But I
Okay.
do put up all of the daily vibrations on Instagram. So yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much for joining me tonight. So what we're looking to do is make this a recurring thing. So
Yes.
you'll probably see us again
Yeah.
next Tuesday night,
Yeah.
talking about a whole nother topic. So we hope that you all join us back here next Tuesday.
Yes.
And it's been real. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thanks
Do the
for
playback
joining.
if you just came in. Do
Yes,
the
I'm
playback. Some great
gonna save the
information.
video. Hopefully I could figure out how to save it. So it'll be
I'm just
on
gonna
my
tell you right now, y'all gonna have to work with me, but I'm gonna tell y'all, once I get my Instagram game up, it is on and popping. But just give
yes.
me time to figure it out. But once I get it
Yes.
down, yeah, I'm gonna be killing it. Okay.
Yes, we know. We know. All right, y'all. Love y'all. Talk to y'all
Bye,
later.
everybody. Thank you
Bye.
so much,
Thanks,
Nye.
boy.
Okay, bye, sweetie.
All right, bye.
Like, you know, I wear my hat like